Welcome. In this video, we're going to do a brief quiz. We're going to compare your portfolio, which is 60% invested in the S&P 500, and the other 40% is invested in the Barclays Bloomberg U.S. Aggregate Bond Index. And we're going to compare it to the S&P 500 and see how you like your performance over certain dates. The first period is from 2000 to 2002. The S&P 500 lost 37.6%. Your portfolio lost 13.3%. Now the question is, are you happy? And the answer is no. You still lost money. The second period is from 2003 to 2007. The S&P 500 returned 87%, and your portfolio, the diversified one, returned 57%. So again, are you happy with your performance? Well, the answer is no. You did not earn as much as the S&P 500. Now the next period is 2008. The S&P 500 lost 37%. Your portfolio lost 20%. Again, are you happy with your performance? Well, the answer is no, you lost money again. The last period is from the bottom from 2009 to the end of 2017. The S&P 500 returned 338% over that time period. Your portfolio returned 184%. Again, are you happy with your account? Well, the answer is no, you did not make as much money as the S&P 500. Now, what if I told you over that entire period, the S&P 500 had a total return of 157%? And the diversified portfolio had a total return of 175% during that time period. Now this slide is from BlackRock, and they did the math. They show that a hypothetical $100,000 portfolio grew to $257,880 if it was fully invested in the S&P 500. If that same portfolio was invested in the 60% S&P 500, 40% U.S. Aggregate Bond Index, that portfolio grew to $275,535. Now, the final question is, would you be happy now with that performance? Well, I would hope the answer is yes. Your follow-up question is probably, how is this possible? You didn't keep up with the S&P 500 during the good times, and you still lost money during the bad times. Well, the answer lies in the upside and downside capture ratios. The upside capture ratio is just how much does your portfolio capture the upside move in the overall market. And the downside capture ratio is just flipped. How much of your portfolio goes down when the market is going down. So if your portfolio has a 55% capture ratio to the upside, that means you'll get 55% of the S&P 500's move to the upside. And vice versa, if you have a 55% downside capture ratio, you'll experience about 55% of the downside move of the S&P 500. This slide again is made by BlackRock. It's a hypothetical portfolio that has a 55% upside capture ratio and a 55% downside capture ratio. If we take this portfolio that caught 55% of the S&P 500's upside and only participated in 55% of the downside, and we take that same time period, 2008 to 2017, a $100,000 portfolio grew 147% to $247,876. Now that same portfolio invested 100% in the S&P 500, so you have 100% upside capture and 100% downside capture. That grew 147%, and the portfolio came to $247,704. You essentially ended up with almost the same return as being 100% invested in the S&P 500 if you're invested in a portfolio that had only caught 55% of the downside, but also only caught 55% of the upside. This is the benefit that a diversified portfolio offers. The right asset allocation of correlated and uncorrelated assets creates that diversified portfolio, and that's what builds that downside protection so you don't experience a 100% downside of the S&P 500. Say if you're in a simple diversified portfolio of the 60% S&P 500 and the 40% US bond index, those bonds provide that downside protection, and when the S&P 500 declines, that's a pool that you can rebalance out of to buy the stocks when they have become cheaper and they offer a better risk return profile at those lower prices. The last question I have is, can you stay disciplined and stay invested in that asset allocation strategy when the S&P 500 is up 338% and your account's only up 184%? Will you get that S&P 500 envy, and will you chase performance and blow up your strategy to get all in on stocks, increasing your potential downside capture ratio and taking away the protection that that diversified portfolio provides? If you want to read our full quarterly letter, which this video is based on, I provided a link down below so you can do so. And if you want to sign up to receive all our other future quarterly letters, there's a link down below as well.